Welcome to the Las Vegasville podcast, brought to you by Jump Studios, where we cover topics related to everything happening around Sin City, including the social media scene, food, and a whole lot more, with some of the best, most popular accounts around the city, and talk about their success in Vegas and beyond. I'm your host, Philip Zhang, aka Las Vegas Phil. Check me out on IG or TikTok, and feel free to text or leave me a voicemail at 702-551-4445. On with the show. Welcome to this week's show. Being who we are and what we do, everyone here at the table gets asked for restaurant recommendations nonstop. It doesn't matter if we've posted, wrote, or vlogged about it. People want their own personal answers to these questions. We're going to cover a few things right now. A couple things will be the biggest question will be the top 3 hotels for food on and off the Strip. With me today is an esteemed panel, starting first with Emmy Casson, who's making her first appearance on the podcast. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
As the former editor-in-chief of Vegas Magazine, which is how we originally met, she's currently a freelance writer covering the newest and hottest spots in Vegas. Her work can be seen on MSN, Eater Las Vegas, The Infatuation, and more. She's the ultimate insider and showcases it all in an amazing way. She's always at the coolest and most exclusive events and is definitely worth a follow if you aren't already, especially with her IG stories at Emmy Casson on IG with 5K followers. Great to have you on.
Thank you, Phil.
Also making her second appearance on the podcast is Las Vegas YouTube sensation Norma Jelly. Very few people are out and about as much as she is, and through all of the work she puts in, covering all things about Vegas, she's definitely an expert on everything in Sin City, from restaurants to hotels, and I can't wait to hear her insight on all of it. Norma also has the most viewed podcast on our YouTube channel by a mile. So I'm super stoked to have her back with over 143K subs on YouTube and 36K on IG. Norma, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. Thanks for having me back.
And rounding out the group is a familiar face. He is the GOAT of Reels, the P in Jump Force, and all-around foodie expert. Covers all the cuisines imaginable. I've known Paul Ryu for years now and wonder how the hell he actually looks younger than when we first met. With over 328K on IG, 142K on TikTok, and now 72K on YouTube. Welcome, Paul, back to the show.
The YouTube, okay.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. So let's go over a couple current events that have just happened recently. Hurricane Hillary. Or just
Why are you
Hillary.
laughing?
Right.
So Norma, I actually caught Norma's live on Sunday. She was out and about trying to document the insane weather that was supposed to happen. And what happened?
So it was so funny. The weather, oh my God. My weather app said it was supposed to be raining all of Sunday. That didn't happen. Like, I woke up, there was no rain. And then it said there was supposed to be rain at 5 p.m. So I was like, okay, great. Let me do a live stream just to kind of show what happened, educate the people. And I go out at 5, nothing. I was like, what the heck? But then people on my live chat kept saying, the weather app says it's going to hit at 7. I'm like, okay, we're just going to keep going. We're going to walk around, whatever. And then, 7 o'clock hits and bam, it hits. Like, it was like in waves. It wasn't crazy. It was just kind of rain. It was just a lot of rain. And yes, the strip did get pretty flooded. I did get splashed by a few cars. But yeah, overall, it was a crazy experience just because it doesn't really happen here in Las Vegas for it to just rain that much, that constantly. So I'm really glad I was able to go out and just capture it.
And was Link still the hot spot?
Yes, Link was definitely a river. Link was a river, definitely in the back, which I wanted to kind of almost go into like where the water comes from, but there was security, there was like a lot of caution tape, so I was like, dang it, I don't want to like go too far in. But yeah, the back was a river. Another crazy spot was in front of the Mirage and the Treasure Island. Right there was the main like flooding. It was a lot. That's where I got splashed.
Right. I saw a few clips in front of the Mirage. How about you guys? How did you spend your
Oh, man. Hillary disappointed. I give Hillary a big thumbs down. Dude, that was just rain. Like normal
Yeah, the
rain.
birds.
And what cracks me up is a lot of Instagrammers like who are trying to make it look like something actually happened, like it was a big deal, but it just screwed me up because like I was expecting like all this rain and you prep and you're just like, I'm not gonna make any plans. And then like by noon I'm like, dude, I totally could have done some cool stuff.
Sure.
But I loved the weather. Like it felt good. the break from the crazy heat and all that, it's just like my kids were playing Christmas carols. They were like lighting vanilla and pumpkin candles all over the house. I'm like, dude, it is not November. This is August.
How are you, Paul?
I was oblivious. So like my my household. I mean, I saw the post and I saw the hype.
A lot of our friends became meteorologists.
Yeah,
last weekend. I don't know
Yo,
what happened.
shout out to Holagato and her breaking date,
Yeah,
breaking
yeah.
news post that I see. But I saw a lot of hype. For me, I was like, I contracted when I saw all these posts. Not like I didn't think about going out there and getting content for fucking rain. By the way, it's in the Ryu household right now. It's kind of crazy when I go home. There's a lot of emotion. Okay, so exclusive to this podcast. I don't know when this podcast is actually going
Next
to launch.
Monday.
Next Monday. Well, here we go. The Ryus are pregnant right now. Mindy's
Wow.
Mindy's pregnant, and we're expecting a baby.
Congratulations.
Nobody really knows. I haven't gone any public. The only person that very small handful of people know.
That's amazing.
So
Congratulations.
But Willow just went to school for the first time not too long ago. She's 4 now, so there's a lot of that going on. And when I go home, I'm in kind of like a baby prep. We're still getting over this what the fuck just happened kind of a phase. We're very early, but now things are kicking into gear. So like last weekend, we're just prepping this gender reveal thing, what we're going to do. So that just happened yesterday.
Oh, that's gonna be badass. Do
Oh
you know
yeah.
what you're gonna
Should I
do?
tell you? Should I tell you that this is like exclusive over and over again?
Let's do it.
But we're
Yeah.
having a boy.
All right.
Yay!
Yeah. So we found it. We had a whole Zoom thing yesterday with the family. Last time for Willow, we had this huge gender reveal party with Carl's. I don't know if you were there. We were at Janga, and we had Carl's Donut make us a huge donut with like either pink or blue filling in it, and we broke open this huge donut, and it was like a big fiasco. But her family was Zooming. And in Zoom, when there's like 100 people party, like in a Zoom, you can't really see anything. So this time we just made sure it was like more family focused, very small,
Awesome.
So anyway,
Congrats to you and Mindy.
I didn't even know Hillary was happening. That was my house.
Like whatever.
It was just rain.
Yeah.
In other news, MY Asia, not my Asia,
No.
someone else's Asia, closed down. They opened in March under Martin Yan, who was a guest on this podcast. And it abruptly closed last week. Did anyone of you guys go?
Just to that opening party and passing by.
Oh, the horseshoe
thinking-
party?
Yeah, that open.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I never felt the vibe. I never felt the desire to go. Sad to say, I think Martin Yan is amazing. I think he's a great chef. But something about that location just felt bad. Like I was like, I stayed at the party for maybe 30 minutes, went through the opening remarks, saw the dancing dragon, and I was like, I'm done. And I never went back. I wasn't surprised when I heard the news. It's always sad when you hear about a restaurant closing down, but not surprised at all.
Did you ever go?
No, I was invited to the party, but for whatever
Me
reason,
too.
I couldn't go.
Yeah, like it was like
Yeah.
3 times. Remember, we were gonna go and I couldn't make it, and I really wanted to go. And then I heard a couple things, and then a few months after that,
It was brutal.
you want to say something?
Yeah. I mean, I sent them a whole list of notes as to what happened. So first time we had dinner with Martin like a week before, where he was kind of hands-on in the kitchen, brought out a bunch of stuff. And most of the stuff, I'd say like 85% of the stuff was solid. But then the week after, I went with Eat Me Las Vegas, Olegato, John Curtis, and it was fucking trash. Like the worst fried rice of all time. Lots of stuff that was just off. And I'm like, it's the biggest kitchen of all time in there.
Are you eating the same dishes?
Yeah, because I thought they were good.
Are
Yeah.
they completely different?
Yeah.
1 week later?
Totally.
His other restaurants are good. I don't understand what happened to this one in Vegas. Like I had originally, I was writing this article on the best new restaurants in Las Vegas, and this was, before he opened, but I had that down as like one that I was going to write about, hoping that the deadlines could kind of match up. But after that opening party, man, I was like, nope, off, substitute, right out. Like I just kind of knew, and I wanted to give it another chance because sometimes openings, as you guys know, openings are not a great way to judge any restaurant. But it was just like the vibe of the whole room. It just didn't feel right to me.
Yeah, it was totally wild.
Here's one thing I heard. I don't know if it's true. I haven't been there. But I heard that there's, when you go there, there's a person pulling noodles in the front,
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is a fact. I think this is a fact.
I was there. Yeah.
Okay.
I was telling you.
The noodles that they pull in the front never gets used in any of the dishes.
What?
Yeah.
So
it's
they
just a
don't
show.
use fresh hand-pulled noodles there. They're all machine
They use
pulled
udon noodles in the beef noodle soup.
But they have a guy doing the show out there just for the show.
I hate that.
It was wild.
that.
It was wild.
That almost doesn't even make sense to me.
No.
On the fact that, but the scalability, I guess he can't make all the noodles. I don't know, but yeah, those stuff, that kind of stuff.
Well, what did they do? They just throw away?
They threw it away.
What?
Yeah.
No.
The guy
that
was
sucks.
just doing his thing.
No,
It was wild. It was wild. The whole thing. And
Yeah.
So you watched it go down. You watched them like
yeah, during dinner, like we're shooting him,
pulling the noodles.
pulling the noodles, and then all of a sudden we see udon noodles.
because he's like, I want whatever dish that goes into.
Yeah.
Like none.
And it was super weak.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
The whole thing was weak, and it was embarrassing bringing Curtis over there too. He was actually going to put it probably as his worst meal of the year, and now I don't know if he can because it closed down. But yeah, it was wild. I filmed
Such a perfect person to bring to.
I know exactly. I filmed a bunch of stuff there, ready to post, and I was like, I can't post this. It was awful. Yeah. Anyways, let's get into it. We're gonna start with the top 3 hotels off the strip with the best food. I will go with
Food only.
off the
Food
strip.
only.
Food only.
Just based on food only,
off
right?
the strip. Yes. So, Emmy, if you don't mind doing the honors, if you want to start with your.
So wait,
from
how are
food-
we gonna
Are
do
you
this? Are we
picking
gonna
on me
do?
because I brought notes?
Yeah, you
You're
brought
picking
notes.
on me
You're
because
ready.
you saw that I prepared. Unlike Paul, who just flies. He just
a minute.
flies
Hold
like
on
a
a second.
bird.
Are we gonna do like?
Thought about this while driving.
Are we gonna go
Yeah,
3,
right.
3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, or are we gonna go 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1?
Let's go 3, 2, 1, and if anyone has the same three,
Three.
we'll just kind of get into it.
Okay.
3. Oh my god.
Because we can say all our threes first, and
3
two
is
first.
tough.
3 is very tough.
I
You know
know.
what? I was thinking this.
This is gonna be interesting for everyone.
If this was top 4, it'll be easier list.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
fact that it's
because
top
there's-
3, it makes it a little because there's that cuff right between the 3 and 4 that you have to decide. I feel like in every category.
Well,
So what you do is a tie.
Well, fuck everyone up
You
if
do
we
a tie.
go 4.
no,
No.
let's
All right,
make
let's
it
go
harder.
3.
3,
Okay.
3.
But is there a tie? There could be a tie. No, you can't.
I don't think it should be a tie.
There shouldn't be a tie.
All right, Emmy, let's go for a tie.
Yeah, off the strip.
right.
Well,
Wait, hold
no.
on.
Okay, off the strip, I have no tie. On the strip, I do.
There's a lot.
You know,
on the
I
because
learned a
it's
lot about
on
the
the
strip is
strip.
tough.
About the strip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's why I had to prep. I literally looked up every hotel
This
and
is why
every
you're here.
restaurant and like the whole thing.
Let's
So-
give it a little little expectation saying maybe we should bring up the 4th and like the.
But we'll talk about the ones that were
mentionable-
bubbling
yeah,
under. Yeah. For
honorable
sure.
mentions.
For sure.
Okay.
But
okay.
we'll talk about that after.
Off the strip in no particular order because I didn't really give a 3, 2, 1. On,
Wait, what?
on
No, you have to
On
have
off?
the ranking.
Because okay, I love I think the restaurant portfolio for Red Rock is coming up, and I think it's looking really good. It didn't used to be that strong, but it's getting there. I think it's really strong now. And Virgin, I hate the hotel, but the restaurants are really good. And then Palms, right? Like
Yep.
Palms is like they're hanging in there. They're doing their thing, and they've got really solid restaurants. So that's my 3. But again, not
Give me the rank out of the 3, though. What's the number 1 out of those 3? If you had to choose, of course, no shade. I barely even thought about this. Maybe like an hour or 2 max. Max.
I mean, where does Vegas eat, Paul?
Touche.
man, you guys.
See,
this is so
is what I was
hard.
doing all morning.
I don't
I'm
think
like,
it's- I don't think it's that hard.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
with
it's
your
not
3
that
you
hard.
With the 3,
Because Virgin really only has, we're talking 2 restaurants right now.
doesn't it have
Cassie
no
Beach.
boost still?
Oh, no,
Yeah,
3.
see,
Okay.
so yeah,
All right, 3.
Cassie,
One
steakhouse,
and Nobu.
Yeah,
Olive's
Dang,
closed
I
down.
thought that.
but Casa Calavera,
Oh,
the Mexican restaurant.
You know what though? But okay, give me
And
a
it's
ranking on
good.
Casa Calavera.
I really like Casa
okay.
Calavera, but if you were to compare it to like La Popular at
Haven't
Palms,
How about Viva? Have you been to Viva?
yeah, I'm not a fan of Viva, and I
That's
keep
on the
going.
strip, but
Yeah, and that's on the strip.
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah. But I would say, gosh, because Palms has Vetri, Palms has La Popular. I would still, if where you're going to find me,
Yeah.
like honest answer
great way to
is
go.
Red Rock.
Okay,
because
number one.
Yeah,
That's number
Red
two.
Rock. Red Rock is number one. Man, Paul, you're harsh. You're
Well,
harsh.
I mean, if
right?
I was just coming
This
up
is
with
Phil's
3 hotels,
show.
I would have been done 4 hours ago. Not that I put 4 hours into this. Just
4 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red Rock, Palms, Virgin.
Yeah.
there
Okay.
you go.
Yeah.
I think that's a
Yeah.
fair list.
That's how I have it written. Let me see the camera.
All right, I can't argue with those. Norma, how about you?
Oh man, this is hard. Just because since majority of my videos are more towards tourists, I feel like I rarely go to Green Valley. I rarely go to Red Rock because I feel like maybe it's a little bit too far for the tourists and they wouldn't be interested. I'm not sure. So I personally stay more on the strip or closer to the strip. I would have said the Virgin as number 3, but when Olive's closed, that was like devastating to me. That was such a good restaurant. And I love Todd English. I love all of his work. So I was really sad when that closed. So besides Virgin, I would say, oh man, Palace Station. Palace Station is, I think I would say is my number 2 because I think anything at Tailgate Social is really good. I love their pizza. I think it's a very underrated, overlooked spot for their pizza. And then on this year, at least July and August, they had a whole lobster for $29. It was like lobster, clams, mussels, corn, potatoes, sausage for $29. Like, what the heck? And I don't know if you would counter it or not, but Cinnabar is there at Palace Station, and that is my place
The
to
movie
go.
theater?
Yes, the movie. I love
Good-
the movie
good
theater.
call.
Yeah.
And I personally will not eat until I get there because I love their pizza, like their fries, their wings, and their cocktails. So to me, like Cinnabar is a whole experience.
That's a
in
good one.
I would have to agree. Probably Palms is my number 1 because La Popular is really good. Vetri, everything. I just
Yeah,
love everything
there's a
that
lot.
they do there. I think I took what was it? Was it Ting Ho Wan?
Tim Ho-Wan is there, yeah.
I only tried them like to go, but I was like, oh, okay, this is really good too. But yeah, I think that would be probably my answers.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a solid choice. I was wondering if anyone was going to say Palace Station.
Oh, and they
Is
have the
Palace?
oyster
I
bar.
consider
oysters.
Palace on the
I
strip.
thought
kind
that's
of.
why you chose Palace.
Yeah.
I
I
thought
kinda-
it's because of the oysters.
I kind of put Palace
I know,
on the
I
strip.
forgot about it. But well, I do like the oyster bar, but it's such a long wait. So I pass by it every single time, and I'm like, that's like a 2-hour wait right there. And I wish it wasn't a 2-hour wait, but isn't that oyster bar the same in like Santa Fe?
That's a good
and
question. No. That's the
I don't
answer is
know.
no.
No? Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
you've
I
eaten
shoot
all
at
of
every
them.
single.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
shoot at, with all those chefs, and I believe the recipe is kept locked down to Palace. I think because that was my number 1 question when Naxos came our client, and I went to Naxos and I shot all those oyster bar, and I'm thinking they share the recipe with all the oyster bars, right? And they're like, no.
The oysters at Naxos are incredible.
I love Naxos.
I love Naxos.
This is why
Red Rock.
for me, there's not even a fucking comparison between the number 1 and like a number 2, number 3 space.
Oh,
Number
wow.
1 is Red Rock, hands down, because of Lotus, because of you don't get that Lotus experience anywhere else, because of that brunch that they have. I think it just has changed dramatically in last 2 years for Red Rock to just be at that place. It used
Yeah.
to not be on my list,
Yeah.
but that.
Osteria
So I think the stations
Fiorella,
alone.
like, it's-
I think when Durango opens, I think that would be number 1. You know, they have a lot of talent going in there. But yeah, I think my number 1. Did you go your number 3 yet, or no? You want me to go? My number
Yeah,
1
let's go.
has to be Red Rock. it's just I wish I can just put all the stations together because, there's a lot of like honorable mentions in Station family that I like going because of the oyster bar problem. I like going to Sunset Oyster Bar, and I like going to other oyster bars and getting it because to me, it tastes good for the wait that I don't have to wait. It gives me the fix that I need. To tell you the truth, when I'm done with the roast at Sunset Station Oyster Bar, I kind of forget what Palace Station Oyster Bar roast tasted like. I can't really like, oh, this does not have that flavor. Like I don't get that. I still get my fix. So places like Sonoma Cellar at Sunset Station, Broiler at Boulder, they're all good. It's just that when it comes down to the collection of restaurants and the location and all the vibes and how new it is, how great it is inside, and everything, for me, Red Rock. Here's my number 3 though, because I was thinking the same thing. I'm gonna go, there's stations, right? There's all the station casinos that I like. And I was thinking about, because you're saying downtown is considered off the strip, right?
Right.
And I was thinking about Palace Station. I thought Palace Station was on the strip. I'm gonna just go with. It kind of is. No. All right. I'm gonna go. I thought Palace Station was kind of like too close to the strip for me to qualify that as an off the strip. But
Change it now.
no.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Plaza, number 3.
Oh.
I want to give Jonathan Jostle
Okay.
the highlight here, and the effort that they're putting in right now to change the place around, and I just want to give them the 3rd spot. I thought Virgin, I thought other things. I really like one. I really like. I just went to Kasi Beach for the first time, by the way,
Oh,
like
and
a few days ago for the first time. I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
I went with
Did
the
you go
vegan.
for brunch or dinner?
I went for dinner,
'Kay.
and I went with a vegetarian, like plant-based person.
Yep.
And we had a great time. It was
Yeah.
awesome. Great menu,
Yeah.
good selections.
Kasi's awesome.
I thought the flavor was good. Service was amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Steven and Angelina for hooking that up. But I just want to give this whole new facelift and the carousel bar and the pink box donuts going in there and the things that Mike is doing at Papa Pizza and that whole new patio at Oscar Steakhouse. I think Plaza is very underrated, off the strip, hot right now, and it's about to get even hotter. I believe Oscars that I just went there not too long ago. and
Oscars is so good.
amazing,
So great.
great view. They just added that patio.
Yep.
Great. So I'm gonna give Plaza the 3rd spot. So it gives me a fucked up scenario here for the number 2.
Number 2.
Because like I kind of want to squeeze Verge, but I'm gonna go with Green Valley Ranch for my number 2.
Okay.
Just because I absolutely fucking love Hank's. It's one of my favorite go-to. I had a funny comment with a friend the other day because shout out to Brian. We're gym buddies where we go to the gym right there, and he's like, hey, let's go. It's on me. I want to take you guys out. I want to go Wakuda. Want to go all out. And that night, for some reason, I said, hey, I'm not feeling like getting dressed up and going to Wakuda. Why don't we just do something casual and just go to like Hank's, And we went to Hank's, had a great time. And every time I go there, I just have this amazing meal and service. I always appreciate, although Hank's seems like a place that I would go often. It's just every time I go there, at the end of the meal, I appreciate the meal for how great it is for being right next to my house, how convenient it is.
I've never been.
Are you serious? Okay,
I've
so
never
Brian,
been.
T-bone.
the guy that I was
better
eating
than
with,
T-bones?
the joke,
Really? Okay.
the joke of it all was like, you know what's funny, man? On the phone, you literally said, "Hey, let's do something casual and go to Hank's." Like we're so fucking spoiled.
Yeah, we are spoiled.
With food that I say shit like that, and I don't even understand. Like Hank's is like somebody's dream meal. You know what I mean? And I believe
Yeah.
that Hank's is that good.
Okay.
They
But
have-
is it a casual place? Like, since I've never been.
No.
But
So
people
is it
dress
the-
casual
Yeah,
there.
Is it like the
It has the
equivalent
best
of
happy
T-bones?
hour in
like
town.
that
It's like
kind
one of the best
okay.
happy hours in town. So it's
Okay.
kind of considered casual in the front bar area. You see a little bit of hustle bustle there, but as soon as you go into the dining area, it's
So it's a
amazing.
beautiful, kind of more
It's great.
formal looking.
If you have
modern-
not eaten there, have you been to T-Bones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
You got to go to Hank's.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Okay.
So
and
it's
that
int-
alone.
It's interesting that you name Plaza because really you're just basing on Oscars, on one restaurant. Because if Oscars isn't there,
No, they
then-
have Hash House a Go-Go.
Yeah,
I
that
like
doesn't
that.
make a top 3.
Yeah, I like. Still, I think the Plaza gets mentioned because I was thinking about this. Out of all the things, all the restaurants and off the strip, I like Oscar Steakhouse better than a lot of restaurants that I kind of like. Like there's other places. Like okay,
I like Oscars better than Barry's.
that's a big comment.
I just
That's a big comment.
I like the vibe at Barry's. I like what they've done.
the
but
reason I went with Plaza
I wanted to
over
love it more.
Circa. Do you like that deli at Circa?
Saginaus.
Saginaus.
Do you wait
love-
like an hour for a $25 sandwich? No.
Yeah,
I don't like
I
it.
like their
Well, no,
I
you did
didn't buy
24
it.
hours there.
Yeah.
Right. You did a 24-hour video.
Yeah, which first of all, Phil, I didn't know downtown was allowed to be included in this off strip thing.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yes. I really love personally Barry's, like all of their steak. Everything was really good. I did a bar crawl once, and I had obviously you drink a lot. So at the end, it was a pastrami sandwich, and I was like, this is so freaking good right now. I will say for Plaza, even though you might say that you're only basing it off Oscars, their pizza in there, I think is really good. But
That's what I was about to say.
specifically their garlic rolls.
Well, the
Their
pop-up
garlic
pizza
nuts.
The
is
garlic
just one of the
nuts.
best
Yeah,
pizza.
yeah.
Mike
garlic.
from
The
Pop-Up
ranch.
won the best pizza in the
Yeah, Mike
pizza
Beckman
competition.
is-
So Pop-Up is
Right.
great. You can't. The reason that I like GVR as number 2 is because of Pizza Rock. I think Pizza Rock is by far the best pizza in that area, and because I live in that area. So, and you got to understand, Equerry Rig just went there. Not that that's my favorite place. It just went into the district area. When the whole district is there.
So you're counting GVR as the whole district as well as
yeah, because
Phil,
that's a
does
really
that
good
count?
question. That's
don't
a really
know.
good
Phil,
question. Do
you see, like
because
Phil-
then you got to count in Setabello.
and then so do you count downtown
you don't have-
Summerlin
you
with
You can't
Red
cross the
Rock?
street.
Yeah, you can't cross the
No.
street. All right.
Well, yeah,
gotta-
because then
Most
because
people go to take a car from Green Valley and drive to Setabello, so no.
right.
You're right.
Because then if you're crossing the street with
No,
Red
if you have
Rock,
to
then you
drive
can
to get
add in
there from the
Harlow.
hotel, then
Right? Yeah. Like,
Yeah, and you can't count downtown Summerlin for Red Rock. But yeah,
it's
I mean,
across the
I
street.
get what you're saying.
I think I'll go GVR at number 2 still. I think GVR or M Resort.
Over Palms. So Palms isn't even on the list.
Yeah, I don't.
really?
Interesting.
Yeah, for me.
Really?
Okay.
This list also kind of goes down to like how often I've been to the hotel.
Places, right.
It also has to do with invites because my schedule is heavily dependent on invites. Like I have a property that we're about to do on the Strip that it's not on my list just because I just haven't been to. Like I haven't been to Palms, seriously, and I don't even know how long. I used to go to Palms a lot because when they were doing all those promotions and when they're doing all those influencer invites and the collaborations, I used to go. But the new Palms, I haven't really. I mean, I did get invited a lot. I just haven't been. I haven't been to the Popular. Have not been to the New Vetchery. Otherwise, I don't even know what else is there. Like what
you
other
got Scotch
restaurants are there?
80, Mabel's Barbecue still there.
Yep.
Yep, haven't been to Scotch 80 ever since they
Yep.
reopened. Ever
The
since
hottest
very first
buffet
one.
in Vegas,
my God,
AYCE, is there.
That's the hottest buffet in Vegas. I thought the hottest
Look
buffet
at
in
that
Vegas is
line.
at M Resort. That seafood.
Sundays?
one. Yeah, that thing sold out for months.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think.
No, yeah, they're sold out till sometime next
Yeah,
year.
no, like
Which is a
the
great-
M Resort
M is
thing,
sold out.
you
The
cannot
buffet.
get
Yeah, yeah.
a seat
Wow.
for like next year or something like that.
It's expensive, that one.
$100, right?
Yeah, but it's a lot.
But it's because it's only Sundays.
Seafood or something like that, right? It's only
No.
like once
Lobster.
once a month or once a
Every
week.
Sunday.
No, every
M Resort.
Sunday, yeah.
Every Sunday.
No, yeah, they give you like full lobster tails. They have like, I think it's like prime rib. I don't know, but I think it's because it's just Sundays why it's like completely sold out. So that's, in a sense, that's almost like the new Sterling at the moment.
Yeah. Good comparison.
New Sterling.
Phil, what are your top 3 off the Strip?
So I
hear.
thought about 3. I thought about 3 really hard because I love berries and I'm just going to go solely based on that. So Circa would probably be number 3 over Virgin, although Virgin was 4. I'm going to go Palms number 2 and Red Rock number 1, just because of the variety and how they've stepped it up. Osteria Fiorella, when no one gave a shit about Terra Rosa, Thank God they did that and
Yeah.
all that stuff. So I think the major overhaul gets a lot of props, and that's where I would go.
Dang,
For sure.
I need to go to Red Rock more often.
But it is interesting that when I was thinking about Fremont, I automatically thought Fremont would somehow be included, but not really at all.
Fremont, the hotel.
No, Fremont, just
Like,
any
like
property.
Circa or
Circa
yeah,
or Golden Nugget or but I don't know.
I thought Circa would be in there out of one of you guys for sure.
Circa was my
But for me,
Okay.
Circa literally only has one place for me.
Right.
It's Barry's.
very
Yeah. I haven't been to 8 East, to be honest.
people love that place. I haven't either.
Yeah. There aren't that many Asian options on Fremont itself. So, yeah. Why do you like Oscars more than Barry's? Just
Me?
I didn't say that I like Oscars
yeah,
more
I
than
do.
Barry's. I just
I do,
like
I
the
do.
effort that Plaza is putting in to turn everything around and what they're doing over there. But I think one of the biggest underrated thing that they have there is Papa Pizza and a couple other that place is actually really good, and he's doing big
Yeah,
things
Papa Pizza's
in
great.
there.
no argument.
So that I just feel like there's a little bit more than any other downtown option, because otherwise I was just gonna stick to literally all station casinos. Like my list was gonna be that, because Palms is so like out of my range because I haven't been there in so long. I agree with all the things that you guys are saying about Palms. I just haven't been. I don't know if I wasn't invited. I just haven't been. You know, like you know what I mean. Like so that. Ever since the new facelift and the new ownership, I just haven't been to any. Like I haven't been to that food hall that they have there. Haven't been
Right.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how I can't really testify to the new.
Yeah,
shit.
Palms, though, they haven't found their groove yet, right? Like in the foodie scene. They used to have it before the, COVID and all that stuff, but it's a great portfolio, but they're not, like, something isn't clicking the way that it used to. But there's great restaurants there.
Like Scotch 80 right now at this
Yep.
point, would you go there over Barry's or Oscars?
No.
I go there over Oscars.
Over Barry's, no.
No.
Over T-Bones or Hanks?
Ooh.
I just haven't been. I remember Scotch 80 when it first opened. Loved it.
I think I'd go to Scotch 80 over either of those two.
I got to go there.
Chef Marty's doing some really cool stuff for sure. Favorite place on Fremont for you, Norma?
Not really. Yeah, just like Plaza and Circa is really all I really go to.
I agree.
But no, what I was gonna say about Palms is, I think one of their bigger peaks was when they used to have Chaos. So since they had Chaos, and it was a great club. I was actually really sad when they shut down. But because it was more like nightlife directed, they had other lounges that even had really good food. I remember that.
Green Street was amazing.
Yeah, Green Street was
Yeah,
amazing.
super
Mr. Coco.
It kind of.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I remember they used to have, like, I guess you could say more like a party atmosphere, and they had like more elevated food. But I think once like Chaos shut down, and then COVID happened at like pretty much all at the same time, so a lot of that had to kind of like go away.
Yeah, Bobby Flay had a place for like
Yeah.
a couple hours.
Yeah.
Shark.
That was great.
And
Yep.
Mr. Coco, did they have food?
Yeah.
they did.
I remember that. I remember meeting the dog.
Yep.
Yes.
After Sarah's, we went to Mr. Coco's and
right.
met Mr. Coco. Yeah, that was fun.
Sarah's is gone, though, right? They don't do Sarah's anymore.
I know they have plans for something, but right now I think it's just an office for the staff.
Such a bummer. I loved Sarah's.
Yeah,
Thought that was great.
yeah.
Does any of those places up top serve food at Palms? Vetri.
Vetri.
But
Yeah.
that's it, right?
I mean, Moon hasn't reopened or anything.
None of those places reopened?
No, it's just a private space, event space now, which is crazy.
Yeah,
they
then I
have-
don't see a restaurant in there other than Scotch 80 that really is forward. Like what else is Mabel's?
Mabel's is really good.
Yeah.
I actually really like their barbecue.
I agree. And Vetri is
Vetri.
better than Osteria Fiorella to me.
Both his, right? I'm just kind of.
Okay, yeah. So final three. If we can come to some agreement here, I mean,
Red Rock.
Red Rock is number one,
Yes.
right?
100%.
2, I don't know. I mean, So it's either
We
it's either
all have
Palace
to
Station or Palms,
Yeah.
right? So we'll just do a tie. I guess.
See?
Flip a coin.
The tie.
Or just do 2 and 3. Palms, Palace Station. I don't know.
Oh, Virgin though.
Virgin, yeah.
Yeah. Nobu.
Let's just go with Red Rock number 1 and be done with it. That's tough because it's so like it gets kind of gray area after the number 2 votes because I think any hotels that had more than 2 votes was Palace Station and Palms.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
All right. Boom. Red Rock number 1. So we'll move on the Strip. Does well-rounded count for something, or do you believe it should be just what's best?
Wait.
Oh, I think
That's actually a
well-rounded.
really good question.
I think you have
to do the combination
well-rounded.
of it all, right?
Yeah. I mean, and I considered that in my tallying of all the restaurants. I feel like you need those places where you just can grab and go and not feel like you have to get dressed up and not make it a big to-do. Like Paul was saying when he went to Hank's.
There's a thing about a hotel having that my favorite place, but all the other restaurant is not
Right.
the top. But there's this other place that has all the top restaurants in that field, but my favorite restaurant is not there. You know what I mean?
Right,
So that's
yeah.
always like this torn, like which one is number 1 then?
Yeah.
The guy had that place that has the most reputable best, or the place that has your favorite but not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, like I surveyed people. Like I literally called up friends. I talked to people. I do like I mean, it's Phil. It's you.
Sorry, Phil.
I
Am
this
I
prep
supposed to
work.
put in
It's
this much
my
work?
old school print background. Like I literally interviewed people. Even this morning at the gym, I was
Whoa.
asking people.
And they all said
it's-
greens and proteins.
Well, it's so interesting
house.
because everybody has a different perspective and how they judge. And one of the first people I talked to was Rob Cashel-Reese, and he hands down said MGM Grand, like number 1. I was like, what? And he's like, Robuchon. Like, need I say more? And I was like, yeah, but that's
like-
it. That's like
yeah.
2 restaurants on the whole property.
I thought about MGM
So-
a lot too.
Yeah.
Shitty
too.
hotel.
Yeah. Right. But
Wait.
Robuchon.
It should not be matter if it's shitty hotel or not, even if it's Circus Circus.
No, but there's
I know
Right?
it's hard to separate sometimes. Like,
Circus Circus from Aria, I get it, but let's go back to the food only.
yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
If,
Right, so
if
Rob
every
said
one
it-
of those, if
Rob,
one of-
Rob
if-
says
if
MGM
every
Grand.
one of these hotels would create a strip mall and put all their restaurant into these strip malls, which strip mall would win?
Oh, that's a good, interesting way to think about it.
Do you know what I mean? If there's 3 different, like 5 strip malls in a row.
So Norma, if you don't mind going first, I mean, you hang out on the Strip more than any of us do. What do you think?
Oh my God, there's absolutely so many. So just kind of like, just to name them all without even going into detail about it, I would say like Cosmo, Aria, Caesar's Palace, Paris.
You really like Mon Ami Gabi that much, huh?
No, Paris has.
I get it. I get it.
They've been coming
Crossed
up.
my mind.
They've been coming up.
have
I
a
did.
lot, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I do like Mon Ami Gabi a lot. So those ones, like food wise, I think those are some of my favorites. However, though, like my favorite steakhouse that I've ever tried is at Sahara Bazaar Meat. But yet, like, it only has that to me. Even though, what's that Italian? Bala? I think Bala's still really good.
Good.
But when it comes to, for me, just thinking of like, oh my God, you have to go to these, it would be those 4 I just mentioned. But I mean, that would be kind of like.
I feel like we went through all the same struggles. You know what I mean? I feel the same way about the Sahara.
Like I know it's not high end food, but thinking of like the food court at Excalibur, like to me that food court is like, oh my God, if this food court existed in any mall, I would not leave that mall. I mean,
wow.
and
I
that's
need to
like that's like the low end, that's
Okay.
like lower end, I guess,
Right.
food.
Okay.
But I don't know, it's just a good food court, honestly.
I've seen some YouTube videos where they hit up everyone.
What do they have in that food court?
Oh my God, they have a yogurt land, they have
Popeyes.
a Pizza Hut, they have a Popeyes, they have.
Shout out to Lincoln and Sarah who have that's their court, right?
Yeah, I don't remember, but I just remember every time I go in there, I'm like, oh my God, this is like, if I wasn't on a diet.
So
right
it's
now.
like fast food heaven.
Yes, basically.
All right. So what would you say your definite number 1 would be?
Oh my God,
Wait,
had to
do we?
choose
Don't make me
one.
choose.
You gonna go
Here.
1,
She-
2,
she
3, or
named-
gonna
she
three,
named
two,
like
one?
Look at my
six.
sheet.
She
You
named
gonna
like
go
six.
3, 2, 1, or are you gonna go
All
1,
these.
2, 3?
I prefer 3, 2, 1.
Okay, let's do 3, 2, 1.
1.
3? Only 3? Oh my god. Okay. Dang it. It's so hard. Okay. I do like the Cosmopolitan a lot because it just has so much variety from like the like the grab and goes all the way to like the fancy steakhouse to even Super Frico. Super Frico is like I don't want to call it a circus, but it's like a crazy like circus dinner in a sense.
Yes.
So I love it. Even Secret Pizza, they have like, I mean, they're not food, but their bars are amazing. So I feel like if we were all like undecisive, like I'll take you into Cosmopolitan. I will choose something for you. So there's so much.
So that's
from
number
there.
3.
No, oh sorry, I would say that's my number 1.
That's your
Okay.
number 1. Okay.
All right.
Number 2, I would say Caesars, just because same thing. It has such a big variety from grab and go all the way to the top, and even the forum shops. Like I count that. Like I love
Yeah, yeah.
Carmine's in there. I love the Palm Water Grill. I love
You're right.
Stanton Social.
Joe's.
Joe's.
Yeah. Oh my
Joe's,
God,
yeah,
Joe's is
Sushi Roku,
amazing.
something like
RPM.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, everything is super great in there.
Wait,
What's
is Roku still there?
Sushi Roku? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Unbelievable.
What's on
just
the
looked
third
them up.
floor,
I
so
feel like I
people don't
just
really
looked
pass
them up.
by.
I knew- Okay.
Yes.
What's that Bobby Flay one? The
Amalfi?
Amalfi.
Yeah.
Super expensive, but great fish. I really love their fish there. And then I guess I would say my number 3 would be Aria because great restaurants, but I love that they have proper eats now. Like at the moment, my favorite burger is Lola's. They're at proper eats inside Aria. Like every single time, I fall in love with it. Even Posh Burgers, I think is amazing.
So Aria number
Number 3.
3.
3. So it goes Cosmo, Caesars, and Aria.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a solid list and all good reasons why.
Paris
they
is
should
number
be on
4.
there. Paris,
Paris is
number 4.
number 4 because of Mon Ami.
Mon Ami, because of Gordon Ramsay Steakhouse, because of Vanderpump. And they have like, the Cray Place, they have the Bobby's Burger
Martha's.
place in there.
Martha's.
The Eiffel
Mar-
Tower.
And Eiffel
Oh yeah,
Tower
Eiffel Tower,
restaurant.
yes.
Who ate at
So,
Martha Stewart?
I've
did.
eaten at Martha Stewart.
And
So I've only gone once and I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I'm always like a try it twice person. So I haven't gone my second time. The first time I went,
Was it an event or you sat down and ate at a
I
regular?
sat down and ate. My friend ordered some, I forget what it was. It was like a soup, and I was like, this soup needs so much more salt. And I remember their bread was good. Their cocktails were,
Oh, I love their
Decent.
cocktails.
Yeah.
I love like
they were like,
Yeah, it's like, the thing is with Martha Stewart, like you have to know what to order. I've been 3 times. Once as the guest for an event, and then like a lunch event with Martha. And so that was like controlled, and you couldn't really, you couldn't judge anything from that. And another time I went specifically for that famous chicken.
it's like $90.
Yeah, the $90 chicken.
I would love to try it, but I'm not,
Yeah, right. I mean, it's pricey, but it's really good. And that smashed potatoes, it's kind of like when my friends ask me about that place, I'm like, it's good, but order these things. It's like, do this specifically. Otherwise, you're on your own, and I can't take responsibility for the money you're about to spend.
Yeah, it's a cute restaurant though. Like
Yeah,
you feel
it's
like you're in someone's
Williams-Sonoma.
home. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, I'm gonna try it twice. So even though I didn't have the best experience the first time, I would love to go again and just try it again. Even like if friends came in and said like, "Hey, let's go there," I'm like, "Okay, like I'll get to try it again, and we'll see if the third time's the charm or something."
yeah, I've been interested too. Just haven't gotten around to it.
Never been.
Yeah.
Never?
No.
Really?
Haven't been.
No, I was out of town during the
The event.
Parties.
party stuff.
Oh, man.
Wasn't able to go.
Yeah, it's definitely worth going and checking out.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, you guys know Alex, my daughter,
Yep.
who's like a very picky foodie person. She loves it there. She's had great experiences there.
Shout out Alex Eats and Frog Purse on TikTok.
Yeah, she eats more Asian food than me. I feel
Yeah,
like.
right.
Well, she eats better than all of us. So,
Yeah, right.
Emmy, how does your top 3 differ from Norma's?
It's different. So, tied.
Okay, all right.
Oh, you have a 3-1? Okay.
3-2-1. Okay, so number 3, tied for
Tied.
third place, Aria and Win. And Wynn slightly below Aria, just because that variety that we were talking about isn't there. There's not a lot of like super casual things, and even with that, I'm counting Earth Cafe. I'm counting Wynn Plaza to be able to like be mixed in there with Cipriani and that type of stuff. So Aria and Wynn. Aria just has such a great portfolio. I think that they've got a good mix of celebrity type level chefs with just good solid food. My number 2 slot goes to Caesars. Caesars, it's massive. They have something for everyone. You can go to Guy Savoy or you can go to Starbucks. Like, it's all there. Tons of celebrity chefs. Great. They're always changing. They're always opening something new. There's always something around the corner. So I think Caesars has done a great job. And then number 1 is Venetian for me. I was surprised. I love Venetian, but I was surprised that it hit my number 1 because they have so many wonderful restaurants. Again, great variety and like different price points. And I'm not counting the Grand Canal shops because I don't even know if there's anywhere notable to eat in Grand Canal, but that's just strictly Venetian Palazzo.
Some stuff at Grand Canal. You know?
Yeah, X-Pot,
Smith
Expo, yeah. Okay.
Buddy V's.
I feel like they don't really have much grab and go stuff though. Like at the moment, I can't really think of.
They have the food court.
I mean,
Grimaldi's,
but
they have
that's a
a
food
couple
court.
other
Yeah.
ones that I like.
But yeah, you're right. They're,
Oh, okay, wait. I'll get to that. The grab and go, my favorite grab and go on the strip probably is actually at Venetian Palazzo.
What is it?
Miznon.
Oh, I love Miznon.
I don't
Love
think I've been there.
Favorites on the strip. right now.
Absolutely.
Have you guys been to Hassalon?
Wait, we went
Is that
together.
yeah, we went
Yes.
together and met
Yep. Terrell.
Terrell. That's
Yep.
right. Shout out to Terrell.
Yeah.
But
Mediterranean.
Oh, okay.
did that sit down actually open? Did his
Israeli
sit
food.
down?
Yeah, it did open.
It opened
Okay.
already. That's I'm
Yeah,
very
Hassalon.
very excited to go there and try that. That's like one of the restaurants that I really want to go. Is that sit down by the same chef as Miznon?
So I've been told, because I missed the party. It was my dad's birthday that night, so I couldn't go to the grand opening. But it gets really, really loud. So they're like, go to the early seating. So I guess there's 2 seatings a night. Go to the early seating. If you're there for food, don't do the party thing later because it's really loud and it's crazy. It's kind of like
Lava.
Villa Azur, Lava.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait,
With
where
the
is this?
spinning of
I didn't
the.
know they were gonna go that hard.
They go hard.
I didn't
They
know
go
that.
dancing on the
It's an
table.
Israeli new
Really?
restaurant.
So it's kind of like lava
Okay.
brunch.
I haven't been yet.
Yeah.
But that's interesting.
Yeah,
'cause
that
that's,
kind of.
that's a huge space to
Huge.
make it feel like
What
a
was that,
crazy
Major Domo
party.
before?
Yeah, Major Domo.
So
Yeah, I know.
I feel
We
like,
should go.
I feel like Venetian
I need
is
to go.
not on my
No,
list
I'm down. I'm so down.
because I haven't tried as many. Like they have so much, and I haven't been able to get around to so many of them. So I think that's the only reason why it didn't make my list. But yeah,
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot I do still want to try in there. At what you were saying though about Caesars, like Peter Luger is about to open sometime this fall.
Oh,
Yep.
well, there you go.
That's
That
pretty
kinda changes
exciting.
A lot of things.
that's huge. Yeah.
You must be excited about that.
I don't know if it's going to be the same though at all.
I remember you eating at
mean,
Peter Luger last time you were.
Yeah, I've been to Luger's a bunch in New York, but I feel like it's not going to be the same at all. I mean,
And I'm
look at the
crossing my
dining room.
fingers. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
What about like Prince Street?
are they going to
pop-up
buckle
coming
and
up?
start
You know,
serving
Prince
other
Street's
steaks
about to have a
besides
pop-up.
porterhouse? Like, what's going to happen? I wonder. Like, are they going to Vegas it out, or is it just going to be porterhouse and steak for 1, steak for 4, whatever? Like, just stick with the same formula. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
It makes you nervous, right?
Makes me
Like
nervous.
it makes you nervous.
Well, it's also going to be way more expensive.
Is it going to be more
I think so.
expensive?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
I saw the dining room rendition on Eater, and it looks very Vegas.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. There's something to be said about the original locations when they're like cozier and moodier than when they come to Vegas, you
Yeah.
know, because in Vegas they have to handle the volume.
And the
More turn and
expectations
burn.
of VIPs.
Yeah, and
I
it's
mean,
always a
Yes.
proven concept, and
they
they
don't
put
take
a
credit cards
nose
at
job
Brooklyn,
on top of it.
so they're going to have to take credit cards here, and
They don't.
yeah, rewards. They never have. Yeah, it's crazy.
They what?
They don't. They only take cash. Well, now they take
Who?
debit cards. Peter Luger's is always
Luger's
historically-
only take cash, so you have to bring
Brooklyn.
like $1,000 in cash.
Well, there was a
wow.
bank across the street. We would just go there.
That probably happens a lot. That bank is happy.
ATM.
You know, the ATM fees.
But
on
they
that.
take a debit card, and they used to have a Peter Luger credit card, just that
Oh,
they
so you
set
can-
up themselves. But if you don't pay, some guy named Bruno knocks on your door in a
right.
couple weeks and shakes you down. I don't know.
I've never. Wow, that sounds like a.
So it's going to be
dispensary.
interesting. I'm definitely excited, but I don't know.
Wait, can I ask, like, what are your guys' like favorite steakhouses on the Strip? I guess I would say
A Bizarre Meat is mine.
Yeah,
Bizarre Meat.
I'm actually going there tonight.
I used to say that a lot.
I'm jealous.
I feel like it's changing. When was the last one that I really want to do? I think Jean Georges might be like my
At Aria.
yeah, I always kind of go back to the daddy. Like the I think Jean Georges has just like been the staple for me. I always kind of like I think Golden Sear is definitely up there right now for me. Last time I went there, I had a really really good steak, and I think Bavette's is
Bavette's.
probably like.
But
I've only been there once. I just
See-
really went there one. That was that one time I went to a restaurant one time, and I loved it so much. I started calling it like my favorite, and I'm like, wait a minute, pump the brakes. You know what I mean? It just can't become my favorite out of nowhere. So I like to go again, but I remember my experience there being fantastic. So that's
Yeah, I do like Bavette's. I don't remember the food too much, but I do remember feeling like, oh, this place is sexy.
Yeah.
Like
nice.
it was something about it. It was like very picturesque. I was like, I wish I had my camera right now and I would just take pictures and yeah.
dark.
It's dark. I like it.
moody,
The wood and
like,
all that.
Yeah.
The bar itself, I could stare at that bar all day.
Amy, how about you? What's your favorite steakhouse?
Bavette's.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Oh wow,
Mm-hmm.
nice. Yeah, I can't go wrong for sure.
Bizarre Meat, dude.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't you think Bizarre Meat ought to go? Isn't Bizarre Meat going somewhere else?
But
Aren't
look,
they going? To
I
another
was
hotel?
there. I went like a month ago with my son, and I talked it up, and I was like, "This is the spot, man. It's so great." Blah blah blah. And we got there, and it was just so. It was We spent like $500, me and my 13-year-old son.
No wow.
And so it wasn't like we were being cheap and like didn't get the experience. I mean, like he knows how to order, I know how to order, and it was not great. I was so sad. My husband was like, "You spent what?" And you felt like it was what? I remembered it to be way better than it was. Like, how long has it been since you've been there, Phil?
Last time we went was with you, actually.
I was about to
New
say
Year's
that
dinner.
was the craziest
Yeah.
New
dinner
Year's.
that I wanted
We had
to
a
mention.
weird New Year's dinner.
I kind of want to mention that dinner, by the way. We had the craziest fucking New Year's Day dinner at Bizarre Meat. It was me, you, Sophia, fan, right? And then it was John Curtis and Jeffrey.
Jeffrey
from,
Mayhew?
Mary from LA. Has to be one of the craziest dinner crew on New Year's Day. And we went and had a fantastic dinner. But I just remember this picture. We had a group picture there. And because we all used lights.
Yeah,
It's
right,
New Year's
right,
Day,
guys.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people are having a special dinner there, but we were using a little bit of lights. So like we took a group photo on our table, and our server like used the light and took our photo. It was like me, Sophia, Phil, John Curtis, and Jeffrey. And right between Phil and John, you see this guy in the back like this. Like,
Oh,
so it's such a good photo.
whoa.
We had a
Yeah.
great
The
group
lights were
photo.
annoying. I understand.
And that has to happen a lot where we go and there's like 4 guys using bright lights at a table at Bavette's, which is pitch dark,
Yeah,
something like that, and they get offensive. But just the photo that we have from that dinner is so memorable because there's a dude in the back. You can barely see it. Like we posted it without even knowing that the guy was there. But if you zoom in, there's a
Yeah,
guy.
all the
going-
stories like, look at that guy in the back.
Oh my god.
So good.
I actually still get really shy about using lights because
You don't want to
for that
disturb
exact-
other
yeah,
people.
Barely
because
offensive.
I try. Okay, I try to think it from a customer's perspective. I am there to review a restaurant. Majority of the time, it is comped and great. But the person sitting next to me, maybe they are on a special date and they're spending hundreds of dollars that they're not used to, and for someone to show up and shine lights and interrupt their evening, like that's something I don't want to like. same thing, kind of back when I used to do concierge. I had a coworker. He was very loud. So we would go to a comedy show there because Mirage has a lot of comedians that go through there. And my coworker was like, ah, ha, ha, and like would clap really hard. And I had to like tell him like, hey, these are free tickets. We should respect the people around us and not ruin their evening. Like, let them have a good time. We don't have to like, be doing crazy stuff like that. So same why, like if I was to go to Vivette's or something, I would maybe take my phone and just literally Google white screen
theme,
and then do that, because I don't want to bother the people around me. And just because I'm thinking they're spending a lot of money that maybe they're not usually used to doing.
Totally.
Yeah, Paul doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm just no coup.
Well, I kind of don't give a shit either. I mean, we're paying the same money. It's a $500 meal for us too.
Well, it's different if I'm paying.
Yeah.
If I am paying, then whatever, I have the same right as
Wait,
everyone
but that
else.
doesn't.
But if you're bringing broad,
doesn't-
also
It
still
doesn't
being
shouldn't.
brought
To me
in.
for
I don't
real.
think you still
Yeah.
Free.
should. Lights are kind of crazy, right? Because it does kind of like get in your eyes or something like that. I would just prefer it if the place, if I was invited, just give me a place that's kind of away or
Yeah, they should know.
a room or
They should
something
know.
like that. So I'm not set up like that. Because
Yeah,
if I'm there to work for you, then I have to use my lights. So
definitely.
like, what am I going to
It
do?
makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know.
So okay, I have to tell the story of the last time I was at Bizarre Meat, and this was very truly bizarre. So my son and I order, you can do the cuts of Wagyu,
Yep.
right? Like order by the ounce, and we were like, one of each, we're going big, and so they bring out a little bonsai tree,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They always do that.
Yep.
and we're like, all right, something's gonna happen, but dude, it's just atmosphere.
yeah.
They just
You're
bring
right.
out that
That's so
bonsai
true.
tree.
It's weird.
I
What
always-
the
chopsticks?
hell? Yes.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this? What is this for?
They're trying to be Asian.
You're trying to
Come
be
on.
Asian.
You're in Japan.
Yeah.
Suddenly
You get a
you're in
bonsai tree
Japan.
and chopsticks.
Okay. All right.
It's the
I don't
immersive
know.
experience that they're trying to bring to the
That's
table.
funny. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I do laugh every time they bring out the bonsai.
Here comes the fucking bonsai tree.
Why not?
The bonsai tree, dude. That is
Yeah.
kind of cool. I
Yeah.
did notice that. Is it the same bonsai tree that they
Yeah,
use to, to
they're
on
like,
every
that
table?
guy's done with it. It's my turn.
That's the Asian
Yeah.
table right now.
Right.
That's funny.
Okay, so top 3 for you, Paul.
The bonsai tree is a funny thing.
Fucking
Top
bonsai.
3 for me. Okay,
Yeah.
that was a tough thing. I had to call Mindy and like verify, and my shit changed around because there's so many By the way,
It's tough.
even if I say these 3, it's kind of like that with my off the strip list. I just didn't think too much of like what's the actual. If I was really thinking that this is gonna be like the best of Las Vegas list, I would think a little harder. But I'm putting in these things that I'm actually I put in hotels that you guys might not say. So I just want to kind
Okay.
of some.
All right.
But
'Cause you're a rebel.
I'm
by the way,
excited.
'Cause you're a rebel.
but having said that, my top 3 on the strip, probably about the same thing. Honorable mentions are important for me. I'll say it after. My number 3, I think I'm gonna go. Fuck. I'm torn between 2 and 3. By the way, I'm gonna go Cosmo 3.
Okay.
It just has all the bells and whistles that I want. It's by far the best food hall on the strip. I like that way better than the Resorts World food hall. I just haven't been to the Aria one. But, by the way, the Resorts World food court, I like nothing there.
Nothing. Wow.
I can't find one.
Yeah.
What's your favorite food court item in Resorts World? Do you have one?
I'm not going to drive all the way to Resorts World to eat at Famous Foods. I refuse.
No.
I just I can't.
So
think of
Nori
one.
Nori Bar used to be,
Yeah.
but it's
And you ate
Anyway.
at every single place.
Yeah, but that was when they opened, and I feel like they have kind of changed out a few places. Cause like my current one, and it's been a few months, but I had this one burger there, but that was a place that opened after it had been, famous food. So I didn't get to try it for the video. So I was like, oh my god, why wasn't this here? So
I felt like that was the food hall that I was gonna go to all the time.
Same.
When they first opened, I'm like, dude, this is gonna be full on Asian, like Chinese, street food style. That's what it was
Yeah,
pitched to me.
right.
I went and I liked nothing.
yeah.
So that
Damn.
yeah, I really like Resorts World was actually one of my choices I was gonna go with because I do like a lot of other stuff there. I just couldn't put him on the list. So anyway, Cosmo. The reason I like Cosmo, fucking everything. Momofuku, shout out to our client. But biggest thing at Cosmo for me is A and Haleo. I think if you put Jose Andres in any of the hotels, it automatically becomes like one of my favorites because I'm such a big fan. So Haleo and A is what started it for me. But that also goes down to, STK being there. It's just a staple. Not that I really love it that much there. It's just all around Cosmo has, and we're not even talking about Super Frico and other things that are more entertainment driven, and the Secret Pizza. So I kind of thought that was it. But the reason that I had tough decision between number 3 and number 2 is because my number 2 is Aria. And Aria's argument is that they have the best of. Like, to me, the best Mexican restaurant would be Javier's.
Yeah.
To me, the best Italian restaurant on the strip is Carbone. To me, the best steakhouse is Jean-Georges. It's just, to me, those kind of claims matter a lot.
Din Tai Fung.
Din Tai Fung is a new addition. And I got to tell you, Cathedral is probably my favorite Tao group restaurant in their portfolio right now. I really enjoyed Cathedral when I went and ate there. I had the whole salt baked fucking sea bass there, and it was just amazing. So putting all that together, I just feel like Aria has to be above Cosmo because the best of. Not saying that it's my best steakhouse and my best Carbone, my best Italian. It's just I feel like a lot of people claim that
It's got a lot of greatest hits.
Carbone,
for sure.
Jean-Georges is just like the best of. So that. And then it comes to number 1 choice, right? And I have to say the honorable mention now, which would be Win on Encore. I just have not been there enough for me to try it all I love Delilah. Shout out to Elizabeth Blau and the whole crew there. But I have not tried Min's or whatever that the Asian pop-up thing that's going on right now. I really wish I could.
No.
But never been invited.
No.
I just feel like Win,
It's
I
not
just don't
Mizumi.
get their events.
Yeah.
I don't go there enough, and I just have not experienced it enough for me to even know if that's not my top 3. As of right now, it doesn't even come close. And then
number-
Caesars
Okay.
is my honorable mention.
Oh, it's
I
not
just-
number 1. It's honorable mention.
Yeah,
Oh,
Caesars.
Okay,
what's going on?
Definitely one of
Yeah.
those places where after you guys talked, I'm like, man, Caesars is pretty fucking
Yeah.
sick.
See,
Because the Palm, I even forgot about you. Dude, you literally forget about some restaurants that are in some of these hotels because
Yeah.
it's so big
So
and
many,
so
yeah.
many of them. But having said that, my number 1 has to be Palazzo, like straight
Venetian
up Palazzo
Palazzo.
side rather
Okay.
than even Venetian.
Okay.
Because think about that, like my all-time favorite restaurant, and this is what I'm talking about. If my all-time favorite restaurant on the strip is there, it kind of outweighs a lot of.
which is what is your
Mott
alt-
32 is my
Mott
favorite.
32. Okay,
Oh, I've never been
it's
there.
great. It's
Mott's
awesome.
great.
Well, Mott
Mott's great.
32 is the reason I say it's my favorite. It's not like my favorite to go. It's just the favorite for me to take people to because I can
Yeah.
say, have you had the duck from Mott 32? No. Well, it's pretty much different than any other duck I've ever had. So I think that's a must.
Yeah.
What's the prep? Like a 67-day prep or something like that, or a 28-day prep for the duck?
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
just amazing duck.
Yeah, it is.
And the lobster mapo tofu. That's such an underrated dish that nobody even talks about. But for me, having lobster mapo tofu at a place and being a Chinese place, super overpriced. But the taste and the flavor and the quality matches what I'm about to pay.
Yeah.
They're short rib,
Yeah.
the whole long bone. It's just everything works for me there. Not to mention the wakudas and
Yes.
and
your favorite grab and go you said was Miznon.
Miznon,
Right.
and
I love
I'm not even
Milos.
going into the
Yeah.
Grand
Milos
Canals.
is in there,
I'm
it's
not even
always
going
solid.
into the Venetian land. I'm literally at Sushi Samba.
Yeah.
Like I think if I was gonna eat sushi on the strip, very limited options. I would have to go to Sushi Samba first, and I eat with John and I'll have him do the whole sashimi platter. Arguably the most beautiful sashimi platters I've ever seen comes out of Sushi Samba, particularly out of John.
Yeah,
Um's
John's
hand.
there.
John
Absolutely worth it.
is my favorite sushi Instagram account when I first joined Instagram. When I first
my
joined
gosh.
Instagram, I saw John account and I went, this guy is the master
Yeah.
of sushi photos. Like he still is amazing. But from there, this is why I even like places like Soho, because the guy that was at Soho was taught by John so he did nigiri's that style over there. Anyway, so Sushi Samba. And then there's all those other places that you guys,
Yeah.
the Smith and Wollensky's and the Buddy V's, and it goes all the way to Venetian.
Chica brunch, super good.
So I think that alone and all that combined, and Wakuda being there, because I
Wakuda,
always needed
yeah.
some type of sushi to be in a hotel for me to even qualify them as number one. But that plus Sushi Samba just kind of locked it in for
Yeah.
me. So that's it.
All great reasons. Mine are kind of similar to everyone else's. Cosmo was 3 for me. I thought I actually was going to be 1
Number one. Same
before
here.
going into this. Venetian Palazzo number 2, and then Aria for me was number 3. I don't really care about grab and go, so I just want the best.
I
Wait,
just
what's your
want the
number one? Your
best.
number one is
Aria.
Aria.
Yeah. I don't think you can go wrong with pretty much any place. Maybe Catch. But that's it.
What's Aria sushi? Catch?
It's catch.
Catch or the sushi bar in the food hall. That's it.
Oh, I never.
Right.
I don't
yeah,
consider it just a sushi
it's-
place.
yeah.
I mean, that's
They got Julian
Yeah.
Serrano. Does
Yeah.
Toca Madera count
As
as?
Aria. I don't know. It didn't need to.
Crystals.
it's crystals.
I say it's more crystals.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't like Toka either.
Really?
I don't.
No,
I didn't
I didn't.
either.
I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know.
I've been to Toca 4 times. I have not seen one tortilla. Like I
don't know if it's
what's
is
up with
it a
that?
Mexican restaurant? I think it's a steakhouse.
It's a Mexican
I've
steak.
never seen a
It's
tortilla.
Okay.
a Mexican steakhouse.
Right? Like I only get like steak and
sushi or something.
yeah, never had a Mexican. I mean, I guess.
I mean, it's a fun place. The vibe's awesome for sure.
Right.
Great date night.
Right. For sure. For sure. But I do find myself mostly when I'm out with the family or out with friends, I find myself at Venetian often. I'm like, I love Wakuda. I'm there at least once a month for sure. But if I'm
Rich.
grab and go,
Rich.
Tekka over at Cosmo,
Yeah.
like we're at Tekka all
All the time.
the time. You
Yeah.
don't
Oh,
consider
the,
that grab and go, Phil?
Okay,
I'm
I
still
like that one.
sitting.
Yeah. You're still sitting. Well, you
I mean, I
can
get
grab
the
and go.
pre-cut
Yeah, you
rolls,
can. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I think grab and go is like it's in paper and you're walking and
walking.
eating.
But you can't really
Mizna
walk,
is
grab
a
and go.
true grab and go because there's only
know.
those seats in the front and that's about it for them.
But it's hard to eat those.
Oh, 100%.
Wa-
Yeah, you're right. That's
walking, you
definitely not
can't-
you're right. You're
can't
right.
do that.
You're
I
right.
mean, I've gotten it and I'm eating it in the line to Marquis. So.
That's funny. Yeah.
so what's the result?
So it's been kind of different for everyone. I mean, Caesars is on the list for 2 of us. Venetian Palazzo is on the
Number-
list
what was
for
your
3 of
number
us.
My number one.
Was
Aria
Venetian,
made it
right?
on
So
everyone's
I
list.
think
Venetian,
number 1 is
Caesar.
Venetian because there's 2 number 1 Venetians. Right.
Yeah, two number ones and 1 2, and Norma didn't include it because she hasn't eaten it.
Who's your number 1?
Mine was Cosmo.
Cosmo,
Cosmo, and your number 1 was Aria.
Aria, and the Aria is on everyone's list.
Cosmo too. Is your Cosmo on your list?
Cosmo was not on my list.
Okay.
Surprisingly.
Yeah,
Surprisingly, because I do love Cosmo, but when I tallied it all up, it was like, well, okay, I'm always at Tekka, but that's not enough.
right.
You
And then
know.
before we plan on doing this episode, what did you think your number 1 was? Because I thought mine was
Cosmo.
Cosmo.
I thought mine would
was
be.
Cosmo.
I mean, and I love Zuma. There are things, Haleo, I love that, but there just wasn't enough. I think when I tallied the numbers, it didn't make my list.
It's to me the favorites, the
Right.
best.
Right.
You know, like that. I love everything at Cosmo.
I do too.
Yeah, right.
But like that one thing, you know what I
That's a
mean? That
standout,
one that
right.
has to stand out for me was always Mott 32 on the Strip. It doesn't matter
Mm-hmm.
where that restaurant is. It's just would be something that I always vote for.
Yeah.
So that was the only differentiator between Cosmo and other places. Like other places has that one place. Mm-hmm. Wasn't it Momofuku for you though? You used to
I love Momofuku.
swear.
No, I still do. I love Momofuku. I love Red Plate. I love A. But overall, as a hotel and everything going on, I think Aria gets the edge.
And you have to think about the experience as like a end user rather than. I like Momofuku because we get that PDR in the back and we've had some epic meals back there. But then again, you know what I mean? Like
It's our experience. It's
that's
not anyone
you know.
else's.
So that's why like you have to think about that guy that's eating noodles on the bar.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, that's a completely different experience. They can't get the duck. They can't get the bosom. They can't
So
get the
that's
fried chicken
why
caviar.
I'm just
Well,
Yeah.
they're not here.
Mott 32 is If you have not been,
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's solid.
Norma, was your number one different before?
No, not really. I mean,
She knows what
I-
she's talking
Yeah.
about.
I think
I mean, yeah, can't go wrong. I agree. Okay, so that about wraps it up. I mean, I'm going to fire off some random 10 rapid fire questions, round table style. Durango Station and Fontainebleau could potentially change our list by the end of the year. Do you think either of them would enter the top 3 off the strip or on the strip?
Durango. Yeah, I think Durango is going to be in there.
Okay.
100%. I think that's what I said when I was doing the off the list. I think Durango is going to be definitely top 3 as soon as it opens. I'm just really excited about all the brands that are going in there.
Yeah, I'm not hearing the buzz on the restaurant collection for Fontainebleau at all.
Yeah,
I think we're just
you heard
hoping
of
that
any?
it'll
I was
open.
gonna
Have you
ask
heard of any?
If anyone knows. I didn't know
No.
any either. Yeah.
No.
I've heard there's going to be like a nightclub at the top.
Live.
Or is it?
Live
Oh,
going
okay.
there.
Yeah.
Oh,
some-
Liv is going in there? Okay.
Well, lives in Fontainebleau in Miami. I assumed Liv
Oh.
was going in, but I don't know.
I don't know.
yeah, I wish I knew what food is going in there so I
Yeah.
can kind of.
Because if you go to Fontainebleau in Miami, there's Hakkasan, strip steak. Like, I feel like I'm in Vegas.
Well, maybe it's going to be the same
Yeah.
thing.
I hope not. That would suck.
Right.
Well, I can't visualize Fontainebleau. Like, I don't know. It's just like such a different building that I can't envision what it's gonna look like on the inside. I don't know. And then, because for a while it was supposedly 3 different hotels, and now is it just one hotel? I don't even know anymore. So it's really hard to just envision what it's gonna be. So
Okay.
I hope it's great.
Yeah, I hope it is too. Say every resort on the Strip wants to hire you to set up their culinary lineup. Which resort do you think needs an overhaul the most of any resort on the Strip?
Like
On the strip?
Yeah. If you could redo the entire roster of any resort on the Strip. I'll go first. I'll say Flamingo. I mean, what a waste. At that location, come on.
Yeah, it's a tough one. What's in Flamingo right now? I don't even know.
There's that one steakhouse. And,
Bugsy and Meyer.
Yeah.
They have Margaritaville. They have Carlos and Charlie's.
It's a
They
miracle that's still
have-
open.
They have like kind of a food court. Yeah, it's a lot of. There's actually a lot of very like grab and goes there. But those grab and goes I would never grab and go personally.
You just go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I would probably almost say Luxor, because I mean I've gone to a lot of their restaurants, but I don't know, they haven't really been like, oh my God, you have to go here. So I would probably say, I mean, and I think they're known for Tender, their steakhouse, and I haven't even gone there.
Yeah, a lot of foodies over the years have recommended Tender. I still haven't been.
Okay, I haven't been either. I mean, Diablo's is decent. Yeah. But then they have like that one Asian restaurant at the top.
Rice.
Rice?
Is it
Yeah,
still
Rice
Rice?
and Company?
Yeah.
Rice, yeah, I think so.
Man, that's still there.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah.
I know they have a buffet there, but
I didn't even know there was a restaurant called Rice.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Same.
yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah. Upstairs
How do I not
by
know
the
about that?
Blue Man Group and the Titanic area.
Yeah, usually whenever I would eat at Luxor, it would be it's one chicken place. The original chicken tender, I think it's called.
Yeah.
At their
Oh,
food
yeah,
court.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's
yeah.
where I would pretty much only get at Luxor.
Okay. How about you guys? Any resort?
I would probably say, and I think they've got some solid restaurants in there already, but just to take advantage of the traffic is Mandalay Bay.
Me too. That's what I was
I
saying.
feel like
They have
there's
the
still
caliber
so much. Yes, there's
to
good
take
stuff.
over a big resort.
Yes,
Like if you redid Mandalay Bay and Delano, there's potential there. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I love the Foundation Room. You know, I know Flanker just went in there and stuff like that. But if you really worked on Mandalay Bay and Delano, it could compete with some of the best. I
Right.
feel like, you know, because there's 2 towers, or a huge space. They have a bunch of restaurants that they can take over that can revamp in there.
I mean, being so close to Allegiant, it's so like it's right.
Yeah, they have that
there.
whole
They could
lockdown.
have everything.
Absolutely. And I think one of the reasons that I like going to Venetian and Palazzo as my number one is because parking. And I feel like Mandalay Bay is easy access.
Yeah, but Venetian Palazzo, they're going to charge for parking.
I know, and that will quickly change my top 3 list. No, it won't. But I'm just saying, I think Mandalay Bay has accessibility. It's
Yeah.
right at the tip right there. You can get in
Yes.
and out really quick. I think locals will fuck with that. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because there's a lot of hotels that we're mentioning right now that locals just won't fuck with because it's too hard to get there. It's just hard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think Mandalay Bay is one of those properties that can win that game. I think Venetian does win that right now
Mm-hmm.
because for me, going to Venetian is great. When
Yeah.
somebody says, "Hey, I'm at the Venetian," I'm like, "Fucking awesome!"
Yep.
I'll just go right into Palazzo and come right out.
Yes.
Stuff like that matters to me. So I think
Yes.
the most potential and the frame that I would like to revamp a whole hotel on the Strip would be Mandalay Bay and Delano.
I still think they have some good hidden gems. Like I personally love Border Grill there for their brunch specifically. I really like Skyfall at Delano.
It's gorgeous.
I love
you forget
Skyfall.
about it though, right? But it's great. It's great.
Yeah,
Do they serve food?
it's like little bites. I
Yeah.
think. I haven't been to Revea yet, but I would love to dine there one day. I like Rira a lot.
That's
Yeah,
Luxor.
Irish bar.
Rira, it's in Mandalay Bay. It's in the Mandalay Bay shops.
It's like an Irish bar or something. Like
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun.
And you know what's funny though? It's like when I used to work for MGM Resorts, when Delano first became part of MGM Resorts, someone came in and said, it's pronounced Delano, not Delano. I was like, oh, okay. So they like embedded that into us. So like, I like have to mention it anytime. It's not Delano, it's Delano. But
Bellagio or Resorts World?
Bellagio.
Bellagio all day long.
Bellagio.
Okay.
100,000%.
Bellagio is actually an honorable mention
Yes.
for me
Le
because there's
Cirque, Sadelle's, Spago. Yes.
I feel like
Picasso.
Prime.
Yeah, Prime.
I feel like all
Actually-
those restaurants are too fancy for me.
But that's actually a good
Here's
thing,
the
right?
thing. They've been there so long that like, you know, I've been here in Vegas since I was a teenager, and to me those restaurants were unattainable. And because those restaurants are pretty much still there, I almost still see them like that. Even though I've been to Prime once, but it was literally only because I got invited to do a lip smacking foodie tour.
Me
to do a
too, same
video
here.
there. So that's really the only reason why I've even walked into Prime. And I loved it, and I think it's great, but I still feel kind of like intimidated by those restaurants.
Gotcha.
So it's
Interesting.
By the way, shout out to Starfish. I think if you really want to experience some good steakhouses in a short flight, I think that tour with Prime, Bazaar, all those steakhouses in it,
Mastro's, yeah.
actually pretty good way to go about it. You know,
Yeah, I love Bellagio. I think Bellagio has some great restaurants. Michael Mina is in there. It's so good. Sadelle's is excellent. Such a beautiful, approachable place, but
Sadelle's, yeah.
still, fancy enough.
and Bordeaux, right? Bordeaux.
Bardoza
No,
Aria.
that's at Aria. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Le Cirque, Picasso,
Prime.
there's Prime. It's just some great.
There's
classics.
Spago. What's casual there?
Noodles.
Is that still there? Oh my God, I haven't
Noodles
been
is
in
still
there.
there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they have a snacks place
Snacks.
there.
Yeah, a lot of poker players used to rave those were like the greatest chicken tenders of all time. I never tried them.
They do have huge pizzas there. But well, it's funny. At Michael Mina, this is, again, back when I used to work with MGM Resorts, they had a lobster pot pie, and back then it was like $70. I don't think they even have the lobster pot pie, but I remember I was like in my 20s, and I think I went by myself, and I saved up this money just to have this like lobster pot pie.
The
Yeah.
Thermidor. That's what.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And
Have
I
you guys-
remember being good.
Have you done the garden table yet?
No.
No,
That'd be kind of cool though.
What is
that
this?
would be cool.
At Bellagio in the conservatory.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who
Have
serves the food? It's
So it's either Sadelle's if you go during the day or Michael Mina for dinner.
That'd be really cool.
I'd be kind of down for doing
Yeah.
that for brunch, actually.
I'm just curious if people walk by you and
Yeah.
take photos of you.
Yeah.
That's the
Really?
thing, though. Whenever I'm filming inside of Bellagio, if I need to get B-roll because of the conservatory and everything, I will specifically point my camera to whoever's
that.
sitting there,
Yeah.
and I have to get my super zoom so like they won't notice.
Right.
I'm not trying to like bother them, but I like just so people will understand that that's a thing.
That's fun.
The thing is like they discontinue that during the holiday period, which is kind of a bummer because that's what I mean. It's super crowded. I kind of understand, but I kind of don't, because I feel like they could charge even more than they already do
Totally.
for that holiday experience.
How many tables are out there?
It's
One?
just
It's
one.
one.
Oh
And
my
I
It's
think
gosh.
up to like
Six
six
people.
people. Yeah.
Let's go. How
That's
much is
pretty
that?
cool.
Well,
Gazillion?
It's a
no,
prefixed menu.
It's actually not
like,
even
yeah.
that much. Like
No.
I think for brunch, maybe it's like what 100
something.
No
yeah.
way.
and then for dinner,
125
for dinner is
maybe,
like
yeah.
200 something. It's not a lot, so I can kind of see why they would have closed it during the holidays, because it would. I feel like it would.
There's
be
no way to book
overbooked.
it. Right.
I feel
Just
like
charge more.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Just like I think
people would pay.
hotels should charge more for views of the Sphere. You know, like the ones that face the
Fear
Sphere
view
now.
rooms?
Yeah.
Fear view rooms?
Yeah.
Rather than pool view?
keep you up at night. But it was funny. I think I heard you say earlier, like you didn't like Viva.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
I keep
so-
trying it too.
I liked
I
Viva.
keep trying
I
it.
really like Viva, but I
too.
personally, and I've said this in my videos, I love their churros. Like I've never had churros like this, and I like the sauce that it comes with. And that same churro is at the Sundry over at the Uncommon. So they have a place called BS Taqueria, and it's the same chef. So they brought over the
Okay.
tres leches cake.
Wait,
but
Viva and Sundry are not connected, but the churro person is.
No, it's not the churro person. It's the chef.
Oh, the chef,
So,
okay.
Sundry has like 12, 14 different,
Things
like
in it,
restaurants in there. And
One of
there's a
them
place
is-
called BS Taqueria. And BS Taqueria is the same chef as Viva.
Viva, got
So they
Yeah,
have
Ray Garcia.
They they have separate menus, I believe, but they have still the same churros. So I'm happy that they have those churros on the strip and off the strip. And I every time I say it, I was like, these churros are better than Disneyland churros.
I
And
agree with
everyone's
you. They're so
They're so
freaking good.
They're so fluffy.
I
they
agree.
Pull apart. I feel like, I mean, I haven't had a Disneyland churro in forever, but those are like, you gotta
yeah.
with it.
You're like disappointed. No, but you're totally right. The churros there are delicious.
Like,
Yeah.
just get a
Delicious.
cocktail.
And BS
of churros.
Taqueria, I love.
Oh,
I
okay.
love BS Taqueria. I just don't like Viva. I like the atmosphere. I think it's a pretty room, but I feel like the food is just basic. And I mean, I've gone hosted and unhosted, and it's just like I keep trying. I keep wanting to love it.
I like
but I
Viva,
love BS.
And I got to tell you, if you have fresh, handmade blue corn tortillas, you're almost like at point like 8 out of 10 already, like starting there. I don't know what it is about me and like blue corn tortillas that are fresh.
Tortillas, I think,
kind of
are-
like really, really important to me.
Yeah, no, tortillas, I think, in any Mexican restaurant are very important.
Yes.
And so BS Taqueria actually does have those fresh blue corn tortillas. But yeah, the way, at least for me, the way I determine if a Mexican restaurant is good or not is if I was to order tacos or I see someone with a taco plate pass by, and if I can just tell by looking at the tortillas if they're
Same.
store-bought or not. Just
Oh,
by
100%.
looking at it.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even have to try it. And I'm like, okay, I'm not like...
I mean, if you're not making yours there, I can totally tell. That's definitely a lower level for me. If you have to be making, like, dude, I used to go to Korean barbecue place and taste their rice. You ever do that? You ever go to a Korean place or Asian place and you make sure that the rice is good? Like, I used to be that guy. I used to like tell my friends, I'm like, the best white rice is at XYZ, but
Where's
yeah,
the
I
best
think that
right?
matters.
Where's the best?
It
white
used to be a
rice?
long time ago. Okay, you guys remember Mother's? That was a Korean barbecue place. Now it's 888. It's in that China.
Oh yeah, I
Chinese-
know.
I didn't
Yeah.
know
But
that
before
happened.
that, it was when there was no all you can eat anything before. There was a Korean barbecue place in there. It was called Mother's. And that was the original, like, there's a lot of OGs that came from Mother's and opened up other places. But at that time, I used to tell people, Mother's rice is really, really good. So stupid. So stupid.
You're such a
White
nerd.
rice. Doesn't matter.
Okay. I'm going to wrap it up with the last question. If you could transfer one local Las Vegas restaurant that you think could stand a chance for success at a strip resort, which would it be and where would it go?
That's a good one.
Esther's.
Automatically, I would say Letty's. Letty's Mexican.
I need to go there.
Letty's?
I need
Oh.
to do Letty's.
Yeah, Letty's is super good. I would want the best for them, so I would put them in like a central location. Cosmo, Caesar, somewhere in the middle where it's like accessible and everybody can get to it. Letty's
Okay.
is really good. Gorilla Pizza. I always
Oh
talk
yeah,
about
you love
that.
Gorilla Pizza. Yeah,
They have
With good
they
reason.
they closed down what's it called? Hard Hat Lounge, because they're doing repairs and something like that. But then they did announce that Gorilla Pizza is no longer there once they reopen. I think he's gonna try to get his own restaurant. But if he could like end up on the Strip, like that would be amazing. But I would fear that due to having to have so much quantity, that the quality would go down. But that one's so good.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't argue with that. I'd love to have that on the Strip.
Damn, do you have one?
Yeah, I would put La Strega where Lago is, and then just
love it.
have it be there. The whole Italian vibe, the whole
Yeah.
fountain. I think it would just be amazing. I think Gina would do amazing things. So that would be my choice.
Yeah,
You
that's
said
a good one.
Esther's?
Yeah, Esther's. I don't know where I'd put it. I like that vision that you just gave me, though, Phil. I like the idea of La Strega at Lago.
Yeah.
Yes.
I almost feel like Esther's would fit well at Cosmo because they're so. I don't know. I don't want to say Esther's is hipster, but it's more.
yeah. I feel like
I
it's a
don't know.
good fit.
Yeah.
And put that where Scarpetta is.
Yeah. Or Blue Ribbon.
Or where Blue Ribbon is. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Cosmo, I'm
do you think?
stuck. I really feel like Magic Noodle would do good. It just feel like they've tried that. They've tried hand-pulled noodles on the Strip, and it never really worked out like Magic Noodle should. You know what I mean? Like I went to Sahara, and Sahara has now like
Noodle
is that the
Zen.
same people as Noodle Man or no?
Yeah. Same
Yes.
people.
And you would think that that's like that much different and better and good. And I liked it. I don't get me wrong. At Sahara, I thought that place was pretty good. But if Magic Noodle would go into a place, I think that would just crush it. I
But
feel like there's a
where do you
huge
think it
difference
should
between
be?
Magic Noodles and Noodle Man's noodles.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I've worked on both accounts, you know, and I feel like Magic Noodle just far. Like Shang is up here, Magic Noodle up here. Everything else is kind of like not as good. So this is why I think when you try that on the Strip and it's not one of those guys, I don't know if it hits the spot, you know. But maybe that's one. I think it doesn't really lack that much Italian. I don't really think Italian place. I think like a good sushi spot is well deserved on the Strip because it's just, but affordable. Not
What about Korean barbecue?
that would do great.
Like,
You know what?
yeah.
Well,
More
there's
than the Korean
Jack.
barbecue
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah,
I would
I-
not.
a couple times.
I don't have a Korean barbecue place in town that I would want to put in a Strip resort. But have you guys been? Okay, shout out to Penny from Lotus for showing me this. But have you been to Samurai Japanese barbecue? I
Yeah.
think that's actually fucking amazing, and they source their meat really well there. So it comes from this farm. In Japan, there are a lot of Japanese meats. It's like a yakiniku, so they have A5 there, and it's like the
Okay.
quality meat is just way up there. Have you ever been?
No.
It's really
Samurai.
It's
Okay.
right next door to an all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue place, by the way. So I can't understand how the landlord even did that. But it's very unassuming. The story is, and I don't know if this story is true or not. The guy owns Samurai Motorsports or something like that, and he opened up a yakiniku place so he can go eat some good yakiniku on his own or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if that story's true.
I think it's true.
But
Wow.
I just got to tell you, price is great. There's only like 10 tables. And I had the most unbelievable A5 Wagyu tongue and a couple other cuts that you would not see anywhere else. So I think that kind of stuff would be well deserved inside. It's just feel like, you know, but when you think about barbecue places inside of a resort, you're just like seeing all the smoke and the grease and all that. It's just never, I don't think it fits.
Well, there's Jen Barbecue at Planet Hollywood.
And tell me how that's doing.
I mean, I don't know.
what I mean?
I
It's
haven't-
gigantic,
big
right?
spot,
It's that
yeah.
huge, cavernous, huge.
Yeah, it's right next to Hot and Juicy.
Yeah.
Right.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
I feel like there's like all you can eat Korean places that actually is putting a little damp on the original Korean flavors
Or
that
yakiniku in general, because people don't
like.
understand.
You know, I'll tell you this: like there are some even clients that we had to reconsider because after the pandemic, there was a lot of decisions that these owners had to make. One is because you're all you can eat. These guys are feeling it the most, right? You're all you can eat. You have to have the volume. So after the cost is going up and it's getting crazy after the pandemic, you guys all know, the owners had to make a decision. One is either raise your price, or two, lower your quality. And I had to have a conversation with people that decided to lower the quality versus increase their price, and those are no longer our clients. So my point, going back to the point of my story, is that when things like that happen, I think a lot of ingredients get compromised, and the flavors, just as a Korean person was born and raised in Korea, I go to some of these all-you-can-eat Korean places and it doesn't even taste like Korean food to me. And I'll tell you, Gen's one of those places. I just like cheap Korean all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue. Their marinade is basically soy sauce, sugar, ginger, and garlic, and that's it. Like, you know what I mean? There's no natural sweeteners, and there's no kiwis or Asian pears being used anymore.
Yeah, it replaced Planet Hollywood's buffet, basically.
And it's not even about Gen. There's a lot of those places that are just compromising the marinade, and it just doesn't taste like kalbi to me anymore. So that's my 2 cents about all you can eat versus a la carte right now.
Okay, so pick a restaurant.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the magic noodle going and do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I kind of think magic noodle would fit really well at Caesars. I don't
There
know
was
why,
a noodle
just
place at
something-
Caesars before.
There was.
Beijing number
Beijing
9 or
was
whatever.
it?
next
still
to the buffet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a feeling that Beijing number 9 guy might be the OG of all noodle pulling in Vegas, where he
And
was
dim sum.
he was the original guy, and everybody
Right,
kind of
yeah.
spawned off of him.
Yeah.
Might be.
These are all.
But yeah, I think Magic Noodle, like, you should treat it like a pizza spot.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Super
totally.
grab and goes.
Totally. But that'd be
Grab
awesome.
and go.
That'd be
Here
awesome.
we go.
Guys, thanks for being on. This was really fun. And I hope the listeners got something out of this too. I know I did. So until next week, see ya. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in to the Las Vegasville podcast. For more information about me and where I've been dining recently, check out my IG and TikTok at Las Vegas Phil. Feel free to text or leave me a voicemail about anything you want, 702-551-4445. Stay tuned as a new episode of the show debuts every Monday morning.